You may or may not have heard of him, but players like LeBron, Carmelo Anthony, and many others have acknowledged him for his game and for his chance of making history. After overshadowing Bronny when they were teammates, and literally having the entire basketball scouts projecting him as the potential #1 pick of the draft of his class, Mikey Williams has been living on a very heavy and hyped world of high expectations. At just 13, he dunked better than most pros. He's big for his age and has been a couple of times on the news due to his performances. So let's break down his game and answer the question, is he overrated or there's actual potential in him? The first thing I want to talk about is his size. Love it or hate it, in the game of basketball, the size of a player can make a huge impact on his potential. Taking into consideration that he's only 15 and that he will most definitely keep growing for a few years, I have to say that he doesn't look like he will become a super tall athlete. He's officially listed at 6'4", according to Max Reps. That means that he's tall for his age, but not tall in basketball standards. We all know that some players at the age of 15 were not particularly tall and then made a huge growth. Like Anthony Davis, at the age of 15 he was 6 feet and now has developed to be a huge monster. Or let's take for example Dwight Howard's case, that he went from being 5'8" to 6'11" in a matter of years. But that's usually not what we see. So for video purposes, we're going to assume that he does not grow another inch and he stays with what he has right now. With that being said, let's get into his game. Let's get into the fun stuff, because we've all seen the highlights, we've all seen the dunks, but is he worth the hype? Let's talk about his strengths first. As you may have noticed, this kid is a freak of nature, which means that he can jump to the moon and back without breaking a sweat. That type of explosiveness is what really sets him apart from the rest. Since he is so quick and can get higher than everybody else, his ability to attack the basket could be considered elite. He can also dribble the ball well enough to get at any spot of the court he wants, making him a big threat for defenses because the athleticism combined with that skill is a nightmare to stop. Not only he's got a solid dribbling, he's also great at controlling his body. Spin moves, can finish with contact, and he's got a couple of moves in the back that make him really unpredictable. Like this negative theft that catches off guard the defense and sets him up for a very easy pass to his teammate. Another aspect of his game is his shooting ability, and this is why a lot of people hype him up so much. It is very rare to see a player his age with his athleticism that has also a very soft touch and can get you a bucket from mid-range as well as behind the arc. And I'm not talking about simple jumpers, the classic pull-up or the easy wide-open 3. Mikey is a scorer, and as such, he excels with the ability to create his own shot. Whether it's a step back, a fadeaway, or a difficult combination of dribbling and shooting, he can make those every single day. You will not find another 15-year-old kid with such a variety of moves and matching the degree of difficulty. So to say Mikey Williams is a very good basketball player is a correct statement. In fact, this season, his first year in high school has been so impressive that if we compare his averages to Zion Williamson's, one of the most dominant players you will ever see in high school, LaMelo Ball, one of the most hyped, and Jason Tatum, probably one of the best and youngest superstars of the NBA right now, all of them in their freshman years, their numbers speak so well for Mikey. Like he literally is better in every aspect than the three of them. I mean, averaging 30 as a freshman, that is insane. Might not be a surprise for many of you, but he has led the state of California in points, and his averages compared against the national averages are so much better that you must wonder, what is this guy gonna do next year? Literally, it is his first year in high school and he's been playing like a senior. All of these things are what make him so special, and why people have high hopes for this boy. But what about his liabilities? What about his weaknesses? Have you ever heard of even one of them? Let me tell you. Mikey has 5 big weaknesses in his game that are fixable, but people need to know about them. And the first one I want to talk about is that he often does the wrong play at the wrong time. It is very common for young players to not have awareness of the situation of the game, when to score fast, when to let the clock run. There are the obvious ones, like if there are 24 seconds left in the quarter, play it only one possession so the other team doesn't get a chance to score. Or if you're losing and you need points, score them quick. Okay, this is basic basketball knowledge, but what about the first possession of the game? What about the type of shots you take when your team is in a deficit of an 8-0 run? This is when his age really shows, forcing up shots, attempting very difficult and unnecessary shots at that particular time of the game. Which brings me to the second liability. Sometimes he takes too many contested shots due to his underdeveloped vision. As I said before, Mikey is a scorer. That means that he's always in that scores first mentality. That explains his outstanding numbers, but oftentimes a better shot could be taken by his teammates, if he trusted them. Now, this is something really common that legends like Kobe, MJ, Shaq, Olajuwon, and many others have struggled with when they were young. And it took a lot of maturity to understand, to trust their teammates. So again, this is a common liability that is often seen in elite young scorers. The third and the fourth thing I wanted to highlight is his attitude towards defense. I must say that me personally is something that I pay a lot of attention when I analyze a player, but I must admit, the NBA every day cares less about this part of the game. Nevertheless, showing no interest in defense, in my opinion, affects his leadership. I get that he plays a ton of minutes, so his energy is better spent in the offensive end, but let's take this play for example. This is a championship game, meaning the room for mistakes is small, and little acts of efforts, especially for the best player in the team, can make a difference. This is what a mature leader looks like. LeBron could have easily given up on the play and let Iggy get the easy layup. Instead, he showed an epic effort, blocked the shot, and allowed Kyrie to hit one of the most clutch baskets in sports history. Now, I'm not expecting Mikey to be LeBron, but he gave up on that play. And if your best player doesn't play defense and takes most of the shots in offense, as a teammate, let's say it's harder to get involved in defense too. I'm the type of guy that likes a leader who sets an example in defense that sets the bar for what is good and what cannot be tolerated, and Mikey, for what I've seen, isn't one of them. And last but not least, the turnovers. Man, I hate turnovers. And I've seen him lose a lot of balls because he overcomplicates stuff. Instead of giving the ball up, he goes into crowds and obviously ends up losing it, or he may try to be too fancy at times too. All of the 5 things that I just said are very correctable, and with age and experience, most of them will be gone. That being said, I feel that he is still one heck of a player, especially because he's only 15. I cannot wait to follow his progress as a player for the coming years. I feel like he has a very real shot at the NBA, and that he's definitely hyped, but not overrated. Hope you like this video. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I see you in the next one. Peace.